you like some balls? Is it working? Is this working? Can you hear me? OJ, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
People in the chat, can you hear me? I can't hear them, but perhaps they can hear me. After the apocalypse, all that will remain is balls and pulp. This is John Rambo Presents The Show. My name is John, and I'm joined by OJ. That's all I got this week, I apologize. OJ. OJ is here.
Am I? Is anyone really here?
How's
What
it
does
going there,
here
sir?
mean? What does it mean to be here?
What is here? Is here there, or is there here?
Can it be both?
Very, very deep opening from you today. We made us all think about ourselves. We learned so much about life. It's a little bit of an auspicious start to the show today. People that watch the YouTube version don't know about what went on. But long story short, OJ showed up about 2 minutes before about to start. Shows up, here I am, and then everything crashed. And then we're playing the intro, and he starts talking during the intro.
If you look, the chat was like no audio for a long time.
That's because
and
there's
I
part
couldn't
without
hear
audio. I got it under control, man. All you got to do, you got the easy part. You get to come in here 1 minute before, I don't even care, 1 minute before we start. You sit down, you relax. You know, that's all you got to do. I'm handling the stuff, don't worry. I got you, man.
Hey, man,
got
dude,
you.
the last time I didn't tell you that there was no audio, I got yelled at too. So it seems
now
like
you
I'm going to
say-
get yelled at either way. I might as well do it the
That's
safer
correct.
way.
That is absolutely correct. So, oh geez, but yelled at. Did you like the intro that we had there? Did you see any of it while you were speaking over it, or just what'd you think about that? Did you see
I
it?
liked it very much, John.
That came to us from a gentleman on YouTube, youtube.com/fearfilms. It's
Very
films
nice.
with a Z instead of an S at the end, and he put that whole thing together, and I thought it was pretty awesome.
I agree that it's awesome.
I really enjoyed it. Do you have anything to add about that?
Yeah, I found out it was my audio that was messed up.
Oh,
working
okay.
now.
Well, we're all good. This is why we go through this process, because that's how we learn. So you're good now?
Yes.
Yeah. So check out Fear Films on YouTube. We thank them for the intro.
Thank you very much.
I very much appreciate when you guys make intros, because there's a lot of stuff for me to do. Quite frankly, that's good. You know, that's what I like. But recently we had the 2-year anniversary of the show. I think it was on the 23rd, which was Monday.
Yeah, that was Monday. 23rd.
Okay. So I actually forgot all about it. I'm not one for anniversaries, John. I don't really remember anniversaries. I don't keep them. I don't care about the past. The past is the past. I'm all about moving forward, the future, what's coming next. But many people remind us it was the show's birthday. And that's a cool thing, man. And I don't know if you knew. Did you know that?
I knew it was roughly around here, but I didn't know what the exact day was.
OG had no idea. But, you know, that was a beautiful thing. And, you know, 2 years down, 5,000 years to go. And we're going to try to keep a good pattern of shows going.
Gonna do it.
I think today's no exception to that, because later tonight we have the great Mr. Ed Trotta will be here to entertain us, to enlighten us, to educate us, and perhaps if OJ, you know, is nice to him in the proper ways, he will play a song for us all.
That would be awesome.
That'd be a great delight. So we'll see what happens a little later tonight. OJ, let's go to the art. What do you say?
All right.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Let's go to the art, sir.
Art.
Here's the first piece of art from Mr. S.H.I.E.L.D. And he has created Pulp Reality as a parody of Pulp Fiction. And as we see here, we have some sort of a hybrid OJ, what's her name? I forget.
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman?
Thurman.
Uma Thurman,
Yeah.
who's Poison Ivy. Beautiful, great role for her. And OJ combined. And what do you think about this?
For some reason, it just reminded me of Harry Potter, and I don't know why.
Did you show that to your girlfriend? Do you think she'd be impressed
no.
with it?
I did not show this to her.
You think she'd like it? Maybe you guys have like a poster of this in the room?
Oh, gosh.
When you go stay
That
over,
would be frightening.
You bring that with you. What do you think? No?
Oh, gosh.
Filipino
please.
gamer made this. This is apparently something that an iPhone does. You can talk to the phone. I don't know. I have a phone that's very old. You can't talk to the phone. You could barely make calls on it.
Siri.
But, Siri, yes. Would you like some balls? She really has no opinion on it, but we all know that she really does want some. We know that. The Lion King Gamer, this goes back to the news segment, which will return on today's show. But we talked about this. This was something that was created for us. And as you can see, there's Hulk Hogan, the cast of characters for the program that we created. With Hulk Hogan, Adam West, Batman, and there's the orphans with the flames coming towards them. And there's some sort of a Land Rover vehicle that's involved with. That wasn't part of the story, but perhaps it comes in a later episode.
How else are you going to climb the mountain without such a powerful vehicle? I mean, if you don't have the Batmobile, you need something.
Who drives that, Adam West?
I think Adam West wouldn't let anyone else touch it.
The thing is, you can't fit all those orphans in that truck, so some of them have to go. That's the, that's the sad part of being a hero. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. So half those kids are done. Some of them will fit in, and that's a good thing. So that's very nice.
It's got two rows of seats and a bag.
No, they can't possibly fit in there. It's not going to happen. Here's the other one that we created, Super Ice House, which starred Mr. Miyamoto and Bob Saget in Antarctica, where they both met there. They fell in love. It was a romantic comedy, I believe, or something like that. And there you go. That's where they live, in that little igloo back there.
Behind the penguins. So many penguins.
And Bob is flipping off the penguins.
Now, in episode 3, Bob becomes jealous of Shigeru Miyamoto's relationship with the penguins.
Oh, wow, because there's all kinds of marital problems and everything. And I see. Well, all right, we'll get to that later. This is from Kyle Charles. This is a beverage he's been drinking. Rambo Hall. Tastes like freedom, as OJ so eloquently put it. It tastes like freedom.
Oh, man, that is good stuff. I need some now. Can I have some now?
Kyle Charles also created this. OJ and I saw Iron Sky. We love the movie so much. He decided to make a poster. How come you're always the women? Did you notice this? People do this to you?
Because I've got the most cleavage.
What the hell?
I'm fat, dude.
Who's the guy on the far right?
He looks so familiar. It looks like
Howard's in there. I don't know who that is. And then I don't know what's going on here.
Looks like one of the Wilson brothers, doesn't it?
Oh, it's Kenny versus Spenny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you got DSP on the poster.
Here's J-Mac. Created this.
Oh.
That's our good friend
Who is
Brian.
this mysterious man?
That's our buddy Brian. He's now on Twitter right now.
Good guy.
I wish I had the handle ready for this, but I did not get it ready. I'll find it for you later. We'll tell the people later what it is. And there you go. Skull Midnight, coming for Hole Punch at some point in the future.
Dun dun dun!
To beat him up. He wants to beat him up. What do you think about that?
I think everybody wants to beat him up, really.
That's not true. Some
He's
people.
annoying.
Oh my god. Our buddy Deladrian made this. I call him Dally. I call him Dals or Dally. Or he found this. He found this, perhaps. I don't know. We need to have him tell us the context of this.
I want to go to there.
Well, I think you were there. That's what the sign's saying. That's where you are, somewhere to the left.
I must be there now.
Maybe you're there now. That's why you were so late coming to the show today. Is that why? Because you were there? All right. This is from Bushi. What's your problem? Your silence is deafening sometimes. You know that?
I was not aware.
Yeah, it's like you just say nothing, and it's like it has such an impact on me. It's like,
Weird.
That's
Shouldn't
all you
be
need
that
to
big of a deal.
Sometimes silence is the loudest thing.
Just ask
very
Simon
true.
and Garfunkel.
It's very true. Yeah, the sound of silence. Yes. The pulpy goodness. Everybody's drinking various OJ juices and drinks, and I think maybe it's time that you start marketing like a line of stuff.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
You know how to make. Why don't you create some sort of beverage and start mailing it to people randomly, and hopefully they don't get poisoned when they drink it.
Warning, must be refrigerated.
That's a good label. There's another label. There's Bushi's another label that you can use. What do you think?
I look so cool on there. I look so friendly.
That's so cool.
No, it's a really friendly photo.
I look so cool. And Bushi decided to make his own bootleg StayBallsy shirts. which I'm okay with. I mean,
I think it's cool.
usually people go to concerts. There's like the bootleg guy in the parking lot.
Dude, he's spreading the word, man.
Yeah, you can make your own bootleg shirts. We don't really care that much. But if you want an official StayBallsy shirt, you of course can get one right now at geekfiregifts.com/shop, or go to StayBallsy.com and click on shop, or whatever it's called, merch, I think, or something, or shirts or something.
Yeah.
On the link on the site. So there you go. And this is the final one for Bushi. He has created a Batman spread.
I'm not the woman this time.
Surprisingly, OJ's not the woman, which most people do. Who's that on the left, in the far left? You see that?
Carl.
Oh, it's freaking Jeff Reagan.
Yo.
Oh, I did not. How did I not know that? I'm not used to it. I guess I don't know.
I just
I
realized
don't look at his
that,
face enough from editing his footage for hours on end. I guess I don't know. Yes, what?
It just looks like just you want to know what they're all planning. The Penguin's just kind of chill. Catwoman's like, I'm a little unsure of what's happening here. The Riddler is obviously shocked about something.
Yeah. I saw an episode recently. Some of the episodes are on YouTube and stuff.
Oh,
And
no.
I saw one recently where Catwoman's there, and she has a female sidekick called Pussycat, who's kind of like her Robin, and then the Pussycat and Robin kind of have a thing together, and then Batman and Catwoman are against each other. It was a whole dynamic. It was a Romeo and Juliet type of thing. I thought it was very, very interesting.
Interesting.
Yes, I sat there for hours afterwards just thinking about analyzing it.
What could it mean?
What could it mean? What is the real meaning? So here's something that's going on. I was over at Howard's house last weekend, right? We're hanging out, and he was mentioning to me he's not too happy with his career.
Oh.
And I'm not either. I don't even have a career. I don't know what's going on. But I said, Howard, I was just joking around. I was like, we should open a business, or we should run a business together. What do you think? And he's like, well, what would it be? So I'm like, I have no idea. So here's something for you guys. Type it out in the YouTube comments. A business that me and Howard should open, that you think we should do. And then what we'll do is we'll have Howard on here soon, and we'll read him the various, things that people suggested, and we'll pick one for him, and he'll have to open it. He'll start the business. What do you think about that?
You'll force Howard to do it?
He has to do it. Yeah, that's the agreement. I'll tell him you have to do it based on what people have said.
It's like a male stripping company or something.
Well, hopefully there'll be more than one choice. Maybe it's possible that only one person would suggest something that he'd be stuck, but maybe we'll get at least 2 or 3.
Unless they all colluded to pick one terrible, horrible choice.
I'll be part of the business, but he has to front all the cash and everything, and then all that stuff.
That would be a little frightening. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, you guys could pretty much do anything.
An animal porn business, people are saying. Wow. Very bizarre. All right, in the chat right now, I just put a code. It is from Mr. His name is We Are Unprofessional, is his name. He's on YouTube. And what the code is the Justice League Doom movie for the Xbox 360.
Ooh,
The
nice
full movie.
deal.
Look at that, boom. That's what you get. That's what you get on the show, John.
Good value.
You get good value from the show. Well, you know what? I think it's about time that we get something from doing the show, because I think it's unfair. There's all the people making all kinds of money and everything. We're not getting any money. There's no look. I wear this shirt. Like, how many times have you seen me wear this? 5,000 times. I have 3 shirts, no pants, so I can't afford them, and we're going broke. And we talked about it last week how sometimes we get various advertisement opportunities and whatnot.
Yeah, we decided. Well, you tell them what we decided, John.
I said, OJ, you're in charge of this. You're a very smart guy. You're a beautiful man, and people like you. You're now in charge of marketing for Ramborgia. You're also in charge of the reproductive health of Ramborgia as well. That's separate. And he's also the minister of propaganda. But he's in charge of marketing. And I said, OJ, find us some valued advertisers that will pay us. And I believe you have found something. Is this correct? Okay, so I will you send me this photo here. I will open this. This is our new advertiser, our new sponsor. Here we go. I have some sort of okay, why don't you explain what's going on?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is an amazing product. Have you ever found that your Roomba is getting stuck in a corner? Are you sad to see your vacuum unable to reach those tight places? Are you frustrated having a baby who contributes nothing and takes everything? Try our patented baby sweeper. Our unique design allows you to force your child to clean every inch of the floor. Trouble with allergens? The baby sweeper picks them all up and attaches them to itself, protecting everyone taller than 1 foot from their vicious hold, leaving the allergens connected to the baby sweeper itself and away from your precious, precious nose.
So this is our new sponsor. What's the company called that made this?
This is Kidco's baby sweeper.
This is available in all stores, and I believe the way this works is if every one that is sold, we receive 3 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a great deal for us. It's a fabulous product. This works for any child, any size, any race, religion. Is there any exceptions that don't not work with that?
No, it's especially good actually for getting to those tight, like cramped attic or crawl spaces.
So any child can do this.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
These are also usable for air ducts and corporate buildings.
Yeah.
So on Bring Your Child to Work Day, you're golden.
Just stick them right in there in the duct, and just take the kid like a bowling ball. You just roll them. Just clean the whole house very quickly with that.
Oh yeah, and plus, if there's anybody sneaking in through the vents, the child will find them
and clean them with the body suit.
Mm-hmm.
The kid just looks so thrilled. Look at this. Very happy.
Very happy.
All right, right on. So, we're working the corporate system, John. You see what's going on here?
Yeah.
Do you understand what we're doing? You were against this idea, but I said we have to do it. Because
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't so much against the idea. I was just thinking maybe it needs to be a little more subtle.
They're going to give me a new car for doing that. And it's a product that we support, so there you go. OJ, I was talking to you the other day. Something very magical has happened to you that you mentioned to me.
What?
You had your identity stolen over the weekend.
Oh, yes, lovely. It was good.
Is this true?
Yeah.
What happened? Tell everyone. We want to know what happened. They stole your identity. What did they do with this identity?
According to this, somebody used my credit card to purchase $1,208 or something like that worth of merchandise at a clothing store.
How much was it?
Over $1,000.
$1,000 at a clothing store. Don't these stores because I remember when I worked retail, I've done it many years. If it was over a certain amount of money, then they would do a double check on the card. You call in or whatever. They just let it out. Oh, sure. You seem like the kind of guy that would spend $1,000 on clothing. Just take it and go.
Mm-hmm. Go right ahead. Have fun.
Well, that's strange. Well, how did you catch this?
My statement ends around this time, so I check it to just, be like, okay, what have I been wasting money on this time? I'm going, wait a second. I have not been shopping at this store. I've never even been to that part of New Hampshire. What the heck?
You've been to other parts of New Hampshire?
Briefly. Very briefly.
You're like, I spent $1,000 on clothing in New Hampshire that day, but not at that store.
I was in New York. I was not in New Hampshire.
So what happens now? You find out about this, you called
the bank.
I assume you cancel the card.
Was like, I call the bank, and I get through to this one guy. I tell him my problem. He says, okay, so the phone's going to go silent for a bit, and you might hear a little bit of music, but then I'm going to bring somebody on the phone who can help you. Okay. And so a second later, the silence happens, music, and then I hear a click, and the guy's like, hi, John, are you here? I'm like, yes. I brought Glinda on the phone.
Oh,
now,
wow.
Glinda,
great name.
John has this problem, blah, 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 blah. Glinda says, okay. Glinda, can you help John with this problem? And Glinda says, yes, I believe I can help John with this problem.
Why is it done
blah,
like
blah,
that?
blah, blah, blah.
Why does this happen?
And then the guy says, okay, John, is it okay if I get off the phone now? Because it looks like Glinda can help you. I'm like, yes.
Why is
okay, goodbye.
Why does this happen like that?
I don't know. It sounded like they have a script.
Were they trying to impress you? Like, oh, wow, these people are really freaking helping me. Listen to this. This guy's asking this other woman to help. I got multiple people working on me right now. This is a great service. Is that what it's supposed to be?
No, it just sounded like they had an honest-to-goodness script.
Well, okay.
Like,
Strip.
they have to go through this all the time.
All right, so...
But they help me out.
You don't have to pay. Who eventually pays for this? You're not going to pay for it.
I don't know. I guess the
credit card company must front the money, right?
Yeah, but the weird thing is, like, I haven't even been buying random stuff online. I've been shopping at, like, Amazon, our web host, and, like, that's it.
Yeah, odd.
I bought candle stuff.
Uh-oh. Well, we know those Chandlers are. It's a little... It's a bizarre community of people that steal each other's identities from time to time.
It's ridiculous. I was just, like, laughing at myself at work. I'm like, oh, ha, 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 ha.
Well, you should
I looked at my statement. I'm like, why do I owe this much money? This is absurd.
Yeah, it's happened to a lot of people. That I think I've heard of this happening many times to different people. Credit cards kind of suck. You can get in trouble with them, like I have found out. But
it's rough, man.
It is. It's a little rough. You got to watch yourself with that. So it's good that you caught it, John. You got your identity back.
Yeah.
We don't need another. We don't need another OJ out there.
No, there's enough. Although it was fun. I went back through my previous 4 statements. Like, okay.
If someone else becomes OJ, who are you? What do you become?
Give me some more Rambo Hall, and I'll tell you.
What the hell? All right, so now I have a story.
Uh-oh.
This was the other day. For my job, there's a woman that she's kind of like an office manager, I guess, and she currently works from home because she had a kid. So she's doing stuff there, and they want me to learn some stuff from her so I can go back to the office and do some of her stuff when she's unavailable to do it. So they had me go to her house, right, to learn how to do some things. So I'm over at the house, and she's got a couple different animals. She's got 2 cats and a dog. And they're all real friendly, all nice. They're doing stuff. They're doing their various animal business throughout the home. And things are going well. And she's showing me different things. I'm typing some stuff out. Taking notes on stuff. All of a sudden, one of the cats starts some bizarre behavior. Starts going into some sort of conniptions, like some sort of craziness. It was coughing, it was throwing up profusely. A terrible process of things. And then she starts getting really worried about it. She's on the phone with the vet. And she's like, I have to bring him to the vet. She's, concerned about the cat.
Yeah.
So this goes on for a little while. Long story short, eventually the cat dies. The cat dies while I'm there with this woman, who I don't really know that well, right? So she starts crying. And she's very, very sad about the whole situation. And it was a terrible thing. And I didn't exactly know how to handle this. It was very awkward, John.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do either.
So she starts crying. I go, what do I do? Should I give her a hug? Is that appropriate to do? I just didn't know what to say. I started I don't know. I just started saying anything. All the cliches you could think of. I started asking about the cat. How long have you had it for? Things like that. I don't know. It was out of control. But anyway, we made it through that. But then I later that day, it kind of hit me how strange that is. How, when I first got there, the cat's fine, running around, doing its business.
A cat, chilling out.
It's a life. It exists, right? It's a life force. And then suddenly, just like that, it is gone. It's over.
No warning.
No warning out of nowhere. Shocking. And suddenly this thing that you this being that you just saw is no more. And it's very profound. And I don't know. It's those kinds of things make you appreciate every moment you have, because I think at any moment all of us could just drop like that.
Especially
it's a terrible thing to say. It's a terrible thing to say, but it is.
It's a horrible thing.
We don't know at any moment this could go down.
It's right? Just.
And I know we spoke about religion last week. Everyone really enjoyed it. When we spoke about religion last week, it was very enjoyable. I don't know what happens in the where do you go? But I think the thing to take from it is, you've got to appreciate every moment you have. And I had something. This was quite some time ago. My grandfather passed away, and I saw him in the hospital like a few hours before it went down.
Yeah.
and you can just see it in the eyes, in the face, like when a person knows, it's done. And I remember I think it was my sister, or it might have been me actually, was graduating high school,
Yeah.
and I was telling him, next week I'm graduating, and he was like, "Oh, I'll be there," but you could tell he knew he wasn't going to be there, kind of thing. And then just look in the face, and that should stay with me from that moment. And it makes you want to really appreciate every day,
Yeah.
So there you go, John.
I know the feeling. I mean, I had a similar situation with my grandpa too.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing was though.
You talked to him before, like it happened.
I didn't get to speak with him, but he was, he was
there.
still alive. He might have been able to hear. We don't really know, but
Oh wow.
yeah, it was just really bad. Like he opened his eyes a little bit, but didn't seem like he really was seeing anything.
Right.
But the worst though was that after he did die, the breathing machine was still going, and they wouldn't turn it off for a good long time. I don't know. They needed the right doctor to do it or something.
It's like a whole procedure. You have to fill out the paperwork.
Yeah, that was the worst part, honestly,
Yeah.
because it looked like he was still breathing.
Right.
It was very upsetting.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's part of life. You can't really, be like, angry about it. It's part of what's going to happen. But I mean, it's going to happen to everybody. But you have to. Mm-hmm. That's why we're here, and you gotta enjoy yourself while you're here, and get some stuff done in the meantime. Right?
Yeah. There's not much else you can do about it, really.
You could be like the cat. You could just go down just like that. It was a crazy moment I've experienced. I hope
I would not have known how to handle that. It sounds like you handled it very well.
Probably not. I didn't overreact or anything, but I just tried to do what I could do.
Yeah, well, what else can you do? I mean, you didn't freak out. You didn't go nuts. It sounded like you stayed calm. You didn't go, "Oh my gosh, why are you crying?" or anything crazy like that. No, you were nice. You were respectable. Yeah, you didn't cross any boundaries.
That'll help you get through a lot of. If you're nice and respectful, you can get through a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson to be.
Except the TSA. I'm kidding.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. So OJ, Breaking Bad. The TV show Breaking Bad?
Yep.
The last episode's on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going crazy about this. People are really excited about it. Did you ever watch the show?
I have not seen a single episode. I've
seen it a couple times.
I heard it's good.
I really liked what I saw. It's the kind of thing that when you see it, you're like, oh, I have to watch from the beginning. It's like one of those shows. It seems really well done. It seems like something I really like. It just, I've seen it like different things out of place, and I just haven't been able to go with start from the beginning and watch all.
Yeah, and go straight through.
I think it's the fourth season now or something like that.
4 or 5, I think.
Right. But it's one of those things that happens once in a while. It's like a phenomenon type of thing where everyone's talking about this, and then if you're not kind of part of it, you're not included in the party kind of thing.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
So especially at work, people will ask oh, do you watch Breaking Bad? And they'll ask me the same person will ask me multiple times. I just told you I don't. And then if you don't, they look at you like you're some kind of a leper, like you're a freaking weirdo person, But that's how it goes.
This is the greatest show known to mankind.
That's what happens when the things get so big like that. You're kind of you're not watching this. What's wrong with you? I probably do it to people too with Game of Thrones and other things I watch. But it's hard to watch everything. Who watches all these shows? Who watches every one of these shows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
crazy people. That's who.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone could do it.
People with a lot more free time than we have.
If you can do it, God bless you.
Yeah, more power to you. Enjoy.
It's an awesome show. From what I've seen, I'd like to watch it. That's my point. My point is that it's uncomfortable. Everyone's talking about it, and you're not included. It's I want to be included.
Oh, yeah.
But a show I did see, the first episode was last night.
Oh, man, I saw the first 20 minutes.
Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Is it S.H.I.E.L.D. or is it S.H.I.E.L.D.? Is that how you're supposed to say it?
I think it's S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do when I go to work. Tomorrow I'm going to go, did you see Marvel Agent of S.H.I., dot like that? And then they go, no. And I'll just be like, oh, what's wrong with you? There's something wrong. What do you mean you didn't see that? But I saw it last night. I did enjoy it. It's not like the most amazing thing ever, but it's a fun show. It's about Mr. Coulson, who is alive.
Dun dun dun.
And they didn't really. There's no. I think a lot of people were. There's a lot of different speculation. How is he alive? Is it because he's like a. There's like a body double, or there's some kind of like a holographic version or anything. I was like, no, he just didn't die. That was it. So like, okay, and it's like about him and he has like a team of people, and it's fun. I think it would be better if it was about Sam Jackson as Nick Fury and his team.
Yeah.
And Coulson is part of that.
Although I haven't seen that far into the show.
Yeah.
But it sounds a little bit like the X-Men and Cerebro.
What do you mean?
Tracking down superpowered people.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not saying it's bad.
No, I mean, but that's what it's something S.H.I.E.L.D. would do. It's not like it's out of the scope of
that's definitely
what
something.
The hell they're looking for. What is that? No, that's something they would do. So that's cool. It's got what's her face was in it.
Agent Ann Robin.
Yeah, she's in it.
Kobe Smulders.
She was in it.
Maria Hill,
yes. But yeah, it was like Sam Jackson. It's kind of weird. S.H.I.E.L.D., but Nick Fury's not in the show. And obviously, there's they can't get him to do a show like that.
Oh gosh,
he's not going to
Samuel, Mr. Jackson. I mean, they would have to pony up some mad dough to get a dude of his caliber all the time.
Yeah. There's some dumb stuff in it, like one of the characters, like she's a random girl who's basically she looks like a model, basically, right? She's a female model, but she's a hacker, and she hacks into S.H.I.E.L.D. And then they find her and they just let her on the team. They go, you could be on the team now because you were able to hack S.H.I.E.L.D. And she just happens to look like a model because everyone knows most hackers look like models or female.
I know,
models.
I do.
You're a hacker?
Not really, but I do computer stuff.
But it ties in really well with like the whole universe that they built, and I like the movie universe. It's like a real small. They kind of like it's like the universe is like just starting. It's like only the several heroes, and they just broke it down to it's just a small thing. Where like the comics is insane. There's all this different stuff going. There's millions of characters and stuff like that.
It's pretty funny.
It's a good universe. There's a lot that they can build on there.
Yeah, and it's got that lovely humor.
What do you mean?
Every now and then there's some Joss Whedon-esque humor.
Yeah.
Huh?
All right. I like if you check it out, let us know what you think. I don't know if you would love it. It doesn't seem like something you would be like. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like something OJ would be like. This is great.
I'm enjoying it so far.
Well, you saw like 10 minutes of it.
I saw like the Luke Cage wannabe punch his way up a building.
And it has a lot to do with the Avengers movies and stuff like that. And I'm gonna keep going with it. I'm gonna keep watching it. It's fun.
How does it compare to Arrow in your mind?
I only saw like 2 episodes of Arrow. I can't really make that call. I can't really make that judgment.
One episode of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I can't make the judgment based on one. We'll have to keep. We'll talk about it soon. But speaking of DC, they're making a new show on Fox for next year. They announced this yesterday, and the show's gonna be called Gotham, and it's about James Gordon,
the best cop ever,
before he meets Batman. So it's like a pretty cool kind of thing.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be sick.
Are you being serious right now or no?
Dude, look, we watched Batman Year One, which is basically Jim Gordon the movie, and that was amazing. So
you think it's gonna be really good?
No, but it's worth a shot.
You just feel like being real positive today. I don't know. It seems like DC's a little bit behind on everything they kind of do. They're like, we're gonna have our own movies that lead up to a bigger movie with everyone, but they're always like a step or two behind with the movies, the movie side.
Yeah,
it is kind of sad.
It's funny. It's like DC. It stinks. Like DC does good animated movies and terrible everything else.
Well,
though the first episode of Arrow wasn't bad. Comics? What are comics? I'm kidding.
All right.
I love comics.
Fair enough.
Though they've done some good stuff.
So
honestly, Injustice was fun for the first bunch of issues.
That's what's happening right now. So anyway, I think it's time, OJ. The new segment. That's what it's called.
The new segment.
That is the name of it. The new segment. So if you weren't here last week, these are the rules. We're going to ask you several questions. You give us answers to the questions. And we try to create a storyline, a show. That's what it was about. I forgot the whole premise of it. All the fall shows are coming out. OJ and I, our ideas got denied by all the major networks. are great ideas, like Full House 2, Family Matters 2. These were ideas that we had.
Can you imagine Full House 2? Everybody's bigger now, so there'd be even less room in the
Fuller
house.
House. So what we do is we're going to try to prove to Hollywood, to whoever else makes things I don't even know, that we can make a show that will get millions of views with any kind of ideas. Anything in the blender, we could come up with a great show. So here we go. The first thing we're going to ask for, what is it? I forgot. Location, is that it?
Yeah, setting,
Okay.
Characters, and then type of show.
The setting. So OJ, you will be in charge of writing down the answers. All right, so we're looking for a setting. Could be anywhere that exists or does not exist. Let's see what we got here. Dubai, Tacoma, India, Candyland. That's an interesting one. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Candyland. And now we're going to look for, what is it?
Characters.
We're looking
How
for some
many do we want
characters.
this time?
We want we want 3 characters. 3 characters should be anyone. Gordon Ramsay, he's in. That's one of them, yes.
Actual Gordon Ramsay or American show Gordon Ramsay?
There's a difference there. The other one, Cyclops, he's now in.
Cyclops?
Yes.
Okay.
Cyclops is now in. What else we got? Mr. Clinton.
Ash Ketchum.
Bill Clinton, put him in. That's good. And let's get one more. Let's get a type of animal. A type of animal we're looking for.
Okay.
We're going to try to mix it up here. A type of animal we're looking for. What do you got? A goose.
A goose, okay.
All right, put the goose. And now we need a type of show. Is it a comedy? Is it a musical? Is it a horror movie? Is it a porno? Is it some sort of a hybrid, perhaps? A romantic horror movie. Is that
High school anime romance.
What?
Okay, I'm liking this one.
I can't do the anime part. I don't know how to do that.
Basically, a bunch of high schoolers and everybody's chasing everybody else.
A high school anime romance. All right, we'll try it out. Go with that. OG likes it. OG likes it. I like it.
Okay.
All right, so OG, read back what we got, and we'll try to come up with something here.
The setting is Candyland, where we find a young Gordon Ramsay, a 1970s era Cyclops, or 60s,
Wait, where
and
did
of
that part
course
come from?
a young Bill Clinton, because they're teenaged. It's a high school anime romance.
Okay.
Unless you're setting it.
There's no girl. How could you? What?
Hush. The type of animal featured is goose, and it's a high school anime romance.
Wow. Okay, I'm thinking. Let's see here. I'm thinking Gordon Ramsay, in an effort to improve his cuisine, perhaps appeal to a younger audience. He has decided that he will try to embark on making candies for children. What a better place to start than Candyland?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have? Do you have something for this?
I'd say Gordon Ramsay, in an effort to make better candy, to make himself more appeal to younger viewers, there's a show where he dresses up as an old man and takes cooking classes from other famous chefs.
Wow.
In this case, he has the makeup artists make him look like a young man, and he goes to Candyland to the high school to try and learn how to make the best candy.
Yeah.
While there, he runs into a young Bill Clinton who's there for all the sweet, sweet ladies. And of course, our poor emo friend Cyclops, who stands off in the corner sad that he has such destructive power.
He's a student.
Mm-hmm. They're all students. And they find themselves surrounded by, other high schoolers everywhere. And the school's mascot happens to be a goose.
Oh,
and
wow.
due to an unfortunate optic blast, after a fight between Bill Clinton and Cyclops over a certain red-haired student, knocks off his glasses, the goose gets shot and killed, and Gordon Ramsay kills it, kills it, cooks it, plucks it to hide the evidence.
And what is the name of the show? What
Sweet
call it?
Foul High.
Oh, wow. Very nice. I'm going to go a different way with this. I'm thinking maybe there's a high school in Candyland. The children, their cuisine for their school lunch is candy. It's terrible for them, their health. Gordon Ramsay decides, because he has all these different causes, like shark fins. He tried to stop people from making that, all kinds of things.
But that would just get rid of LL Cool J's hat.
So he decides to go to Candyland, and what he brings with him is a goose that he's going to kill and serve to the students to show them what real food is. Just none of this candy anymore. We're going to have a goose. Goose, what does he always make? Risotto. A goose risotto. So then, of course, what always happens, right? The bureaucracy steps in. The senator from Candyland, the governor, they're all pissed off. They're all bitching, blah, blah, blah. Who's got to come in to put out the fires? There's almost a war erupts. A war almost engulfs Candyland between the people that don't want candy anymore and the people that want the old ways, the candy ways. So who's got to come in and put the fires out? They send an old president, Mr. Bill Clinton, has to go in. He's got to try to make everyone, work it all out. But there's one thing that no one, people took for granted. People didn't realize. Freaking Cyclops lives in this area. He lives in Candyland. Because he was basically kicked out of every other place. People didn't want him.
Man.
People didn't want him around.
Cyclops, really?
Yeah, people didn't want him, so he's living in Candyland. And eventually, the war, Bill Clinton can't stop it. There's a great war. Comes down to, in the end, Cyclops versus Gordon Ramsay. They're fighting. Ramsay's yelling at him. You can't cook raw. Raw. He's like, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. He's saying you're raw. I don't know. It's just like an insult, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that's about. The Cyclops is shooting the shit. Cyclops shoots. Gordon doesn't know what to do. He grabs the goose, puts it in front of the blast. The goose is cooked completely, right? It falls into candy, John. And what happens Candied goose is invented. What happens is a great compromise. The people decide we will have candy and goose here. We're all friends and we love each other. Cyclops, you're going to be our new senator. We're kicking this other guy out. And we're going to wage war against the other countries in the world, but that's a whole other thing. So there you go. All right? What do you think?
Well, as long as we're talking about candy, crazy random happenstance, if you want good chocolate, you have to go to the best. A store that's been around for ages. So when I want chocolate, I always choose Gay Odin Chocolates. It's divine.
Is that a new sponsor as well? There's more sponsors
I don't know what you're talking about. Sponsors? Oh, hush, hush. I don't know. Go buy their stuff.
All right, can we do one more?
Yeah. All right, guys. We need a setting. Where is our next brand new fall show going to take place? Wow, Doug's already got one here.
What did you say?
He already put in Alucard, Dante, and Vash the Stampede in New York.
What did you just say, by the way, about the candy? I don't even know, what was that? What did you say? Something offensive?
No.
Okay, we got a GameStop. Let's do that. A GameStop.
Okay, we're at a GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop. Let's get 2 characters.
All right, 2 characters that we would find working or going to. Somehow they're in a GameStop. A lot of the time.
Liam Neeson's there.
Liam Neeson, really?
Mr. Rogers.
Liam Neeson and Mr. Rogers.
Not Liam. No, I like Al Bundy. I like Mr. Rogers, Al Bundy. Those are good.
Okay.
And what else do you want to get in there?
What? 2 characters. That should do it, right?
And okay, is that good? And then we need some other thing to throw in there.
Something random,
a type of dessert. A type of dessert.
Okay, a type of dessert.
A type of dessert.
To base the show on?
It's part of the show.
We got ice cream, pie, key lime pie, cheesecake.
Yeah, cheesecake's fine. Cheesecake's fine. And then what is the type of show? That will probably be ignored in the end.
Yes.
Like I did last time. That's the hard part.
We got hentai, noir, action drama, porn.
Action drama. Wow.
And yet you said no to Liam Neeson. Game of Thrones ripoff?
A Game of Thrones ripoff?
Yes, I like that.
Okay, go with that. So what do we got, OJ?
In a world where people live at the GameStop, we find Mr. Rogers and Al Bundy somehow involved with cheesecake in a Game of Thrones ripoff.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, or should I?
If you got it, go for it.
Bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum,
Oh, it's got an
ba-da-dum.
intro song. Okay, very nice.
It's the game of stores.
Game of Stars.
Here, yes, here we find rival district managers, Mr. Rogers and Al Bundy, thrust together and told they have to manage the largest GameStop in the country, in the world, together. This GameStop is 3 stories tall and 2 shopping it's the most gigantic GameStop ever known. Mr. Rogers manages his store by being so sweet and kind that everyone always just has to do what he says,
Yeah.
which is the most powerful type of manipulation. While Al Bundy gets his way through bribery, through shady deals, and all sorts of other things. And somehow he gets away with some inappropriate leers at the women who come by the store,
Yeah.
which is how we managed to involve cheesecake. Because
Whoa.
that's a reference to a certain type of thing that happens in shows.
This is not. What is this actually? What did we say it was? Oh, Game of Thrones ripoff.
Yep.
Okay.
And so as they battle for the control of this one GameStop, because only one can be the true regional manager,
Yeah.
you see them backstab each other. You see them make deals. You see them hire people, fire people, sell this, sell that, insure this, insure that. Would you like some batteries? Would you like to pre-order something new? Until finally it all comes to a head. And one of them meets the guillotine.
Wow. What the hell? In the mall?
Yeah, people die all the time, man. Like, people at this GameStop, they get fired, they get stabbed, they get shot, they've been had.
All right. They've been had. They get had.
And there's a
at the
lot of
GameStop.
naked women because cheesecake.
Oh wow.
And also because Game of Thrones.
All right. I'm thinking Al Bundy used to work at the shoe store, but it's been quite some time since we've heard from him. So during that time, he basically quit the shoe store. He's now working at the GameStop in the mall because they're going to pay him 10 cents more than he was getting at the shoe store. So he's over at the GameStop, and he gets a visitor one day. A customer comes in. It's Mr. Rogers. He's wants to get a game, right? I want to get a game for my grandson. Not my grandson. I don't know if he has one. A young man in his neighborhood, 'cause he's from the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. There's a young boy in my neighborhood. I want to get him a game to cheer him up. He's having a rough day. He goes, okay, this is the best game to get for the kid. It's Grand Theft Auto 5. So Mr. Rogers, okay, he doesn't know any better. Okay, I'll get that, sure. Gets the game, goes home, and the kid starts playing the game. He sees what's going on. There's a stripper club. There's excessive violence, things like that. Mr. Rogers
But you
not happy
can
with
change your sweater.
this. He doesn't care. It's too violent for him. So he decided, I'm going to go back to the store. He goes to the store. He goes, I want to return this. And Mr. Al Bundy says, you cannot return it because you already opened the packaging. It's non-refundable. He goes, you can trade it in, though. So then he goes, okay, I'll trade it in. That's fine. I'll get something else. How much do I get? It cost me $60. What do I get? And Mr. Al Bundy says, you get $6. You can only have $6. So Mr. Rogers becomes insane. He doesn't say anything then. He simply turns around and walks away. And Al Bundy's kind of like, okay, whatever, got rid of that guy, made a sale, that's cool. And as Mr. Rogers is walking away, he yells, would you like to reserve any other game, sir? Like really like rubbing it in his face. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Rogers is furious, but he doesn't say anything, he just walks away. The next day, Al Bundy's opening up the store, he walks inside, and there's somebody already there. Mr. Rogers snuck into the store during the night and waited for Mr. Al Bundy to enter the store. And it's kind of like the Red Wedding. There's archers that come and they all shoot him. He has a sword. He stabs him with it, and that's the end of the show. That's the final episode. There.
I just forgot.
Yeah.
Snide mentioned when the wildlings attack. That's gonna be Black Friday.
That's a whole other
We
thing.
must defend this wall.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Oh my God! I don't know what this is. I don't know. This is an abomination that is going on here.
We very much appreciate anyone who sends us art of these shows.
Oh, it's great. I think maybe at some point we'll make one of these shows, perhaps. What do you think?
Just
We'll try
script
to
it
do
out
this.
and do like an episode in front of a green
No,
screen.
we're scripting it out now. Then we'll try to make it happen.
All right, that would be great.
All right, so we got Ed. Ed's coming out in about 5 minutes. Do you want to do a couple comments? We'll probably do 2.
Yes. Just do the ones from the top then.
Sure.
Dear John, it's me, Dylan, aka Robe Man. You know, the hero's obsessed to be Schnozman's sidekick. Anyway, I've been kind of scared when I post videos because I'm scared people will hate on my videos and make fun of my weight. I'm just wondering, what do you think I should do? So I don't have always to worry about it.
What do you have to say, John?
Well, being a somewhat tubby fellow myself, I mean, will people say stuff? Maybe you can't have them not say stuff, but the trick, you really just have to do your best to ignore it, you know? Be like, yeah, these guys are jerks. They're saying this stuff about me. It's garbage, but I don't care. I am not my weight. I am not whatever it is they're making fun of.
You're not
People
just.
said a
you're not
lot of
just
nasty
one thing.
things about me when they saw me doing Rambo's mailbag in my Dan Hibiki outfit.
Whoa.
It happens. You just got, it's going to happen. It's the internet. People are going to be jerks, but there's people out there who aren't jerks, and those are the ones you have to care about.
There you go. Now, obviously, I have some physical things that people like to say some things about, but I don't know. In some ways, maybe making the videos will help you get over certain things that you are worried about yourself. You know. It's kind of cathartic in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In a lot of, if you go 2 directions with it, like you get a lot of criticism. It can either like destroy you or it makes you stronger. So that's really going to be up to you how you want to take it.
Yeah. And I got to say, Kane Bringing the Pain Live has the best advice.
What does he say? I would like to
Don't feed the trolls.
Just don't see
Ever.
anything. Just don't see anything.
Don't do it. Just don't talk to... If someone's making fun of you for something, if someone's yelling at you like, oh my gosh, your hair is so terrible, ignore that.
Yeah.
You can't engage them on that.
Sometimes it's funny,
level.
though. Sometimes it's funny. To see people write some crazy stuff, you just have to laugh sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I was talking to Sturbgeist about that, because he did the show a few times, and then people would just, like, one person was just like, oh, this asshole. That was, like, all the comments said. And, like, we saw it, like later on, we were both laughing, like our asses off about that. Just think about how ridiculous that is. Like, what did you do? Like, it's just fun. Sometimes it's just funny.
And I was trying not to be sad when people were saying Sturmgeist was better than me, because he's pretty kick butt. He did a good job, man.
I think a lot of times when people write this stuff, they're just trying to be just goofy. I had a gentleman, I should bring this up. There was a guy on Twitter that was just sending me, was ripping my ass, just sending me stuff for like a couple days in a row. And I didn't respond to him. I don't really care. You know, I thought, whatever. These guys ripping me, whatever. And then eventually he sends me an email, and he goes, John, I just wanted you to know that I was just having some fun for a couple days, but I really don't feel this way about you, so don't take it the wrong way. I was like, oh, okay. So that tells you everything you need to know about what goes on. A lot of it's not really...
like, you get a weird mix of people being honest and people being liars.
And people are just goofing off.
Yeah, people just muck around.
A lot of people are just goofing off. Mucking about, right, OJ?
Mucking about the Christmas tree being really awful peeps.
Whoa. All right, let's see. Is Ed around here? Let's see. Yeah, there he is. Okay. All right, let's try to get him in here. Hopefully everything works out all right.
Let's do it.
OJ with a yawn yell or something. I don't know what that was.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Ed.
How you guys doing?
Welcome to the show, Ed.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my phone is just...
Wow, everybody's trying to get you today.
Hey, yeah, I just had a new text message. Oh, it's probably from Staples or from Redbox. You know, Redbox has a new video coming out. Yeah, right. Like I'm going to be interested in that.
I'm sure it's something great.
Let me just turn this off. And
okay, no problem. You're ours right now, Ed. You belong to us now.
Yeah, that's right.
They don't get your attention.
I have been walking around taking some notes. The word professional jumped out.
Professional? Did we say that?
Yeah, you used the word professional.
Why did you do that, John?
I don't know.
Wait. I've got to address this. John Harrington wants to show video, accept all videos on this call. All right, accept. I'll just hit accept. Okay, all right. Hi, OJ. There we go. You know, I'm your computer dinosaur. You know, I'm the guy who doesn't know how to deal with any of this.
You're getting better, though. I don't know if you
a lot.
realize it, though, but you seem like you're getting more proficient every day.
Yeah, well, we had our session a little earlier today.
Yes.
Our equipment check. You know. Let me just adjust this camera. I guess I should. I don't know.
You're good. You're okay.
I'm okay. Okay,
You're okay.
there we go.
So what's going on with this professional talk? What do you got from that?
Yeah, professional. You know, the word pushes a button in me
You don't like it?
because it means something different to almost everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, some people say, "Oh, that wasn't very professional of him." What do you mean? Well, he wasn't on time for rehearsal, or he didn't know his lines, or he wasn't very amicable, or he wasn't well groomed. He didn't bathe before or, you know, I mean, professional means something different to almost everybody. You look it up in the dictionary, all it means is, how do you make your living?
Okay.
What's your livelihood?
Right.
That's what professional means. So that's why way back when I entered this business, I thought, well, I want to be a professional actor, so I'm not going to do anything but act for a living. I'm not going to drive a taxi. I'm not going to wait tables. I'm not going to pump gas. I'm not going to do word processing. That was the big thing in the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Really? Okay.
Well, it's part of what I do. It's basically what I do, though. Just kind of process documents a lot, you know?
Well, essentially now everyone does word processing.
Yeah.
In the 70s, it was a skill. It was special.
Oh, wow. Okay. I would be like a big deal back then.
Yeah, you'd have been a big
Like,
deal.
wow, this guy
Need
could
a time machine, dude.
this guy could freaking type stuff. Wow.
But, you know, professional means something different to everybody. So it's hard to use in conversation.
Yeah.
Because, and here's my argument,
Okay.
is that the opposite of professional, what would you say is the opposite of professional?
Unprofessional.
That's just saying not professional. It's not really explaining.
That's easy.
A lot of people would say amateur.
Yeah,
That's
amateur.
what I was looking for. OJ, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Amateur. Amateur comes from Latin, homo, amas, amat, to love. It's the difference between someone who does it for money and someone who does it for love.
Right.
Who's going to be better? Don't
know.
answer right away. It's not an easy question. It's not an easy question because to be professional, you've got to be competitive and you've got to do certain things. But if you are an amateur and you are doing things for love,
Yes.
what better motivation could there be?
Right. But couldn't you do an amateur something? Couldn't you be an amateur at something but do it at a professional level?
Not if they don't catch you.
Okay.
If they don't catch it, yeah, of course. I mean, we're all. I mean, in a sense, we're all amateurs because we all do what we do for love,
Yes.
right? And if we are fortunate enough,
It's not out of choice. It's by design, I guess.
yeah.
What did I say about professionalism, John? I don't remember. What was I
I don't
talking
remember either. You said
Well, it's because you were giving him the job of promoting and the
Finding a sponsor.
Yeah, the whole sponsorship.
Our fake sponsorships.
You know, and if I were OJ, I'd have said, "Oh, gee, thanks a lot. Thank you so much for that job."
Well, obviously we have no actual sponsors. No one really wants to sponsor us, but we don't really want them anyway.
Yeah,
It's pure, Ed. It's all pure, man.
it's all pure. It's
That's
so
right.
pure. It's so pure.
Yes, absolutely.
And and here's the other thing. I mean, that kind of segued into you guys sharing ideas about what you would do. I mean, if you could get Mr. Rogers and Al Bundy on a show together, you wouldn't need a title. You wouldn't need a premise. You wouldn't need anything.
That's it right there. I mean, you got a show made.
here's Rogers and Al. You
Boom.
you know
It's
be
done.
bigger than Burns and Allen.
That's right. So Ed,
Yeah.
did you? The Emmys were Sunday night. The Emmys. Did you
Yeah.
check this out?
Yeah.
You're a television man. You've been on many shows, MacGyver, Star Trek, all kinds of things. Did you watch the Emmys?
I watched the Emmys. They were like on and sort of in the background, and I had to or was doing other things while it was on, but I kept being drawn back to it.
Right.
The Emmys are any award ceremonies are like dangerous for me to watch.
Yeah.
They bring up so much pride and resentment and
Yeah.
competition, and they bring up a lot of stuff like why am I not in that room?
Yeah. Did you ever create like your own speech, like in your head? Like, what would you say? Do you ever like just?
Oh, sure.
I've done this. I've actually done this myself. I've never even been on television or anything important, but I still do this myself.
You have a podium speech?
I kind of.
Whatever podium, whatever, Emmys, Tonys, Oscars, whatever, you have a podium speech. I'd like to thank so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And
Well, no, I always come up with like, what would I do? Like a little bit or something, or try to do something that would get people talking. Maybe, I don't know, something like that. What?
Yeah.
I'd cry.
Yeah. Well, the big thing about the Emmys was this guy who plays Sheldon Leonard on The Big Bang Theory, and
Yes.
I resisted all day. All day, I purposely resisted looking it up to see what that actor's name is.
Yeah.
I
have no
don't.
idea.
I don't know that actor's name.
No, I don't either.
That's a
All
major
right.
addition. Huh?
I don't know it either.
You don't know his name either?
No.
Well, he is an icon. He'll have his star on the Walk of Fame, in a month, or soon.
Yeah.
And he is brilliant. I mean, and the combination, he and his writer and his supporting staff, his supporting cast, his ensemble. The Big Bang Theory is
That's a huge show. Insane.
it's a huge show. It is insane.
I'm a little worried about that show.
You're worried about it?
Well, as a gigantic nerd, I feel like the show isn't so much for nerdy people, but for people who either think they're nerdy or for people who know nerds and see these guys and say, "Ha ha, I know that guy."
Okay.
I think they take it a little.
OJ likes to think that being a nerd is like a race, and you're somehow being like a discriminated class or something. I don't really understand.
They're just. They're a bunch of social misfits, but they take it a little too far sometimes.
Well, it's a show, so.
I know it's a show, it's funny, but still, I don't know.
They take nerdiness too far.
They're giving nerds a bad name, Ed. Real nerds
Huh?
like OJ, they look down upon the show because
Sheldon went to a Barnes and Noble and was trying to become friends with a 6-year-old girl. That's
Alright.
awkward as frill.
Okay, don't worry
A
about it.
bunch of girls at a sleepover using their phone to figure out what to do at a sleepover.
All right.
Okay, whatever. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that they're bad actors or anything. They're very talented.
That's not the point we're talking about. We're saying, everyone knows the character, and like a lot of these
No,
different
they're
shows.
really successful.
A lot of these different shows, people know like Urkel, right, or whatever, but you don't know who the guy is.
Jaleel White.
I've heard since yesterday or since Sunday's airing that he is much older than like he's in his early 40s.
Yeah.
And much older than a college student would be, et cetera, et cetera. But that doesn't matter. None of that matters. None of that matters. Is that he clicked. They found a character to match a personality, to match the script, and so between the writer and he and his excellent supporting cast, because they're all terrific, in this show. He will become like in the future. There'll be reruns of this as iconic character that will last throughout. Like he's like the new Lucille Ball in a sense.
Okay.
Wow, that's a little that
that might be told too much.
That's getting a little high. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Can you even see? Yeah, you can see over my
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that many times. You got the
You see that Lucille Ball in the
yes,
background?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So you know she's a favorite of ours, my son, my daughter. Anyway, if you could get Mr. Rogers and Al Bundy to do a show together, you wouldn't have to call it anything. You just have to say Rogers and Bundy. But here's the thing: is that you guys were bandying about ideas and a show,
Yeah.
and you're just putting it out there.
Right.
And you shouldn't do that. You'll get ripped off.
Well, these aren't the best ideas, Ed.
I've been ripped off several times in my career.
Yeah.
I have brought pilot scripts to people at CBS, and they said, "Well, we love this, and yes, let me see if we can get our producers to salute it." Blah blah blah. And I'm sorry, but yeah, we like the concept, but no one wanted to take it on, and and then a couple of months later, a show comes out just like what I wrote. Just like what I wrote. And it really gripes your ass, I tell you, because there's a thing called the Art Buchwald clause. Did I talk about this with you
I don't
guys?
think so.
The Art Buchwald clause. Art Buchwald wrote the premise for Coming to America.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Sent it to Eddie Murphy Studios, and he had enough proof that he was able to win the case that I gave them this idea, and I was not paid a cent. So the court ordered that Eddie Murphy Studios pay him 30% of all profits.
Wow. So
Eddie Murphy's guys went to work to prove that Coming to America made zero profits. And now any writer offering new material has to sign the Art Buchwald clause, which reads that we could come up with, you have to understand that we could come up with something similar or identical between the time this was submitted and when a product is created. And I ran into this with a MacGyver script that I wrote called The More Things Change. And they liked the script, but they made me sign this clause. And I said, wait a minute, you could come up with something similar or identical? Identical? Isn't that like, this whole premise of, you give an infinite number of monkeys, an infinite number of typewriters, and eventually they'll come up with Hamlet? Isn't that what you're saying? Yeah, sort of.
Wow. I mean, it's funny, man.
So
it's basically saying we will take this idea and use it for not pay you. You just freeze it like that, it'd be the same thing, right?
Yeah, we just like this
idea.
We'll
use the script and not pay you anything for it.
But you have to pay somebody. Why not pay the guy who actually did it?
Seriously.
Yeah. Anyway,
sounds strange.
Don't be throwing your ideas out there.
Oh, these aren't the good ideas yet. Don't worry. These are I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to call
it. I think they're all great ideas.
Gordon Ramsay and Bill Clinton in Candyland?
Yeah, in Candyland.
That's great,
That's
John.
a great idea.
You blew it, John. You gave it away.
Great title. That's a great title for a new game show. Candyland. Who wouldn't watch that? How big a hit do you think that would be in all the nursing homes? People would just be watching these little things walking across the board,
All right,
Look, honey, my thing is moving faster than yours.
Ed, tell us about Boris Karloff, Ed.
Boris Karloff. Well,
know.
He's a hero of mine. Back, I remember telling you that I wore his boots in the first Lincoln job I had. They gave me his boots from Central Casting, from Central Costumes. Central Costumes gave me the boots, and they had the sticker in Boris Karloff, the Monster, 1935, something like that. And I thought, wow, this is the heaviest reward. And one of the reasons he was one of my heroes is that I had seen him before he played the Frankenstein monster. I saw him in the Tower of London, is a movie he made prior to that. and he was a fabulous actor, and once he played the monster, he was typecast as the monster forever after that. American International cast him in all their creepy movies, and
Right, yeah.
and he was so gracious about it. I'm glad the American public has found a way to embrace me. I return their love. He was so,
He appreciated what he had there.
Yeah, he saw, yeah.
He didn't say when I was sick, I don't want to be doing all these same roles all the time. What's wrong with you? I'm much more important than that.
Yeah, I'm more versatile than that, but
Right.
What the heck? This is my
It's my calling card.
this is my slot. This is my specialty. This is what I'll do.
Right. So it kind of goes back to what you were saying before, like the Sheldon character, some of these other people, they get kind of locked into, or perhaps, I don't know if you will or not, but certain people get locked into certain characters. That's that guy. And they have trouble getting other parts.
Yeah,
Jason Statham.
And they get upset about this.
people get upset about being typecast.
Right.
Well, you should be glad you're being cast. Period. And that's the way it is in Hollywood. They're not big fans of versatility.
Right.
And I do have a reputation for being versatile and integrous, but I would trade it in a second for being funny and sexy again. That you can't beat that.
At least you had it at one point.
Well,
Some of us never have that.
Right. Well. Oh. Yes, you will. Yes, you do, and you always will.
Oh, really? Okay, we'll see.
It's all between the ears.
I will prove you wrong, Ed.
Been had, not beheaded. Was that a note about been had, not beheaded? You mentioned something. I just wrote a note about the guillotine being used on a game show or something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Where if you were wrong, you got beheaded. I said no. Being had is not being beheaded. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember this. Okay. All right, tell us about Ernie Kovacs, Ed.
Ernie Kovacs, another hero.
Yes.
In the early days of TV, he was the first guy to put a camera on his desk, screw it to the desk, and then put the whole thing on a tilt, so that when he put a ball on the desk, it would roll uphill. He was the first guy to do that, to my knowledge. He would also make faces. He'd go.
What is that?
That's horizontal hold.
What was the purpose of this? It was a bit?
He was just exploring the medium of television. He was exploring it. In the early days there was like Arthur Godfrey and Ernie Kovacs, and I mean they were like really kind of weird shows. The kind of live guest, have a guest on kind of show. But they were the early days of TV, and frankly, TV is still the youngest of the mediums. It's still younger than film. It's still younger. Well, everything's younger than the stage, but it's still finding itself. And right now, television is in its reality phase.
Yeah.
Oh, please help us get out of this. And I know how to. I know how to.
How do we do it, Ed?
No, I can't tell you. I
Okay,
can't tell
all right. Tell me off the air.
I'll get ripped off for it.
Oh, all right.
That's
I
a
will
good
do
point.
it. I will actually rip you off if you told me right now. I would copy you.
I know.
Says I know.
I'll just tell you, OJ. Okay, I'll just tell you. No,
He'll do it. He'll do the same thing.
See, I've done that too many times. I've been ripped off too many times to just say, all right, here's the ultimate reality show.
Yeah.
That'll get us out of it.
It'll be the reality show to end all reality shows. The final.
Exactly. And here's where we're headed.
Where are we going? I want to know.
You want to know where we're headed?
I want to know where we're going. I want to know what's going on.
Well, all right. We're headed toward a less predictable, less. All right. Let me just ask you this, because this is a simple one. This, how many times have you been watching a crime drama, and you've looked at the clock and said, wow, it's just like 17 minutes of 9. The guy that they have in handcuffs can't be the killer because there's too much time left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
See, that's programming, and that's predictability, and it's formatting. It's formatting and predictability. So I think television is going to have to discover a new way to be unpredictable. And that's as far as I'll go with that because I have ideas.
Wow. Okay. That's excellent.
You know, because now, and especially since, Kevin Spacey came out with a statement recently about, why do we call anything anything? Why do we call this an episodic or a pilot or a TV show or a movie? It's all the same thing. It's all just work. It's all just entertainment.
Right.
Everyone's going to watch it whenever they want, however they want, on their computers. Why do we categorize at all? He was talking about his Netflix experience with House of Cards, saying that they didn't bother wasting the money on a pilot to see if people would pick it up. They said, look, do you have faith in it or not?
Yeah.
Let's just say we're going to do 13 episodes. Bang.
Have you ever been part of that process, that pilot process? Me and John were talking about that actually the other day. John, remember this? How if you had a pilot, how nerve-wracking that must be. Is it going to get picked up or not? And
I know. Yeah. No, I've done pilots. I've done pilots for Coroner's Report, and what was the other one? I played this guy Jack in something called I can't even remember, because if it doesn't get picked up,
then you don't want to remember then.
Yeah.
Well, is that like a nerve-wracking process, like sitting around wondering, are they going to call me back for this thing? Is this going to happen, or you don't know? It could be on TV. It could just go away forever.
Yeah, you could become a regular on a TV series, and supposedly that's the golden ring. But you know what? It's not, as far as I'm concerned.
What is, Ed?
What is? I don't know. It's being remembered. It's just being remembered for something, or But I've done enough television episodics, and I enjoy the MacGyvers and the Hunter and the Max Headroom and
Max Headroom,
Babylon 5. I enjoy doing all those shows, but they're not thrilling anymore. It's not thrilling to do that stuff. There aren't people. There's no audience. There's just a crew.
Yeah.
There's no one applauding. There's no interaction.
Right.
It's pure economy.
Yeah.
It's pure. How many or how few takes will it be to get this segment done? Right. And really the most challenging, and in a way the most rewarding and professional, were the lower thought of things: courtroom dramas and soap operas. Really? They're the hardest to do, because you've got a lot of material to learn. You're expected to do it in one take. And I was doing courtroom dramas before they were reality TV. I was doing the judge and superior court and divorce court and all that stuff, and I was usually either a professional or a lawyer, and they would do 5 of those episodes a day. 5 a day. 5 episodes a day, because they were so formula. 3-camera operation, 1 on the judge, 1 on the witness, 1 on the jury.
So it's just basically set up just to pump them out. That's the whole design.
Just to pump them out. Now, we've got, Judge Judy and Judge Alex, and, we've got all the reality shows, so we don't need the drama.
Right, yeah.
Dramas. And we don't need soaps anymore. Oh, soaps. You're not supposed to call them that. You're supposed to call them daytime dramas.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
But I've done them.
I thought it was called soap opera.
Yeah. Well, they were called soap operas because that was their main sponsor were soaps.
Yeah.
And I've done Guiding Light, Edge of Night, all my children.
Oh wow, we gotta find that. We gotta find that episode. When was this?
General Hospital.
When
Huh?
wa-
When?
Yeah, when was this? We'll have to try to track it down.
During the 70s,
Oh wow.
I did, I did recurring roles or speak only. I mean, I would not do extra work. I would do at least, the minimum was under 5, meaning under 5 lines, because that was a different pay scale. If you had less than 5 lines, you got paid differently. And I had and there was one show, Somerset, that was just getting started. I think it was 74 or 5, and I was doing Godspell at the time at the Promenade Theater, and I had long hair, and I was kind of courting this girl named Heather, and they got all this hate mail. Don't you dare let Heather leave Jerry for that long-haired hippie.
Whoa.
Don't you dare let that happen.
It's OJ.
And they got so much mail that I thought, wow, if that happened these days, they would keep that character around.
Yeah.
Because that was pre-JR day.
Like, oh, we're getting people controversy. This is great.
Yeah. As long as we're getting mail.
And all those people are gonna watch. They're gonna watch this to see if they get rid of you or not. So they'll watch to hate you.
Right.
So,
Right.
True.
Right. So.
Absolutely right.
Men and women on stage, and I know when we talked earlier, I said, yeah, I want to talk about gender bending.
Whoa. Okay. Gender bending.
Gender bending.
All right.
Because, I was walking around the apartment. I wasn't even watching, and I heard, this is the first woman to win the Emmy for direction of a comedy series. Okay, and I'm not even sure which series it was. I'm not sure who the woman was. But I thought, oh, that's odd.
John, look it up.
Yeah. Maybe you can find out. Who this was, and I thought, well, men and women, I've always considered us equals. My first wife said I'm the least chauvinistic person she's ever known. And she said it with tongue in cheek. And I like to gender bend. I like to cast women in men's roles and vice versa.
Wow.
I mean, I don't put people, in drag or anything, but
You have a female person playing a male. I saw it was a Bob Dylan movie recently. It was supposed to be about him or something. They had a female playing Dylan in some parts. It's kind of interesting.
well, yeah. Joan Baez could do a very good Dylan impression.
Yeah, that was his girlfriend for a while, right?
But there are roles. This came to light during a production of A Clockwork Orange. I wrote an adaptation for the stage from Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange,
Right.
and we did it in. The first appearance of this was in 1980 at the University of Tennessee in Memphis, and I was just passing through. I was moving from L.A. to New England to do a summer season of theater, and we stopped at the University of Memphis to call Anthony Burgess to get his approval to do it. My friend Jeff Poston and I called him. We called England. We found he wasn't home. We called his business. They said no, he's on vacation, but he's in Monte Carlo. So we called Monte Carlo and we called the Chamber of Commerce and we asked for the 5 top hotels and I think we found him at the second one, and they said yeah he's registered here. Well, can we be connected? Well, we'll see. And he was in the bar. He was in the lounge of this hotel in Monte Carlo. And the bartender said, I'll pass you the phone. And next thing I heard was, hello. I said, hi, my name's Ed Trotta, and I'm here with my friend Jeff Poston. He's on the other line. And we want to do a stage adaptation of A Clockwork Orange. We're big fans of your work. He said, oh, well, that's lovely. Are you a nonprofit organization? Yes. We said, will you do the 21st chapter? We said, yes, we will. He said, well, then you may have worldwide rights from June through September. Will that suffice? We said, yes. He said, well, thank you very much. Cheerio. Goodbye. That was it.
Okay.
So Jeff and I look at each other. 21st chapter? What's he talking about? We both looked at our books, Norton Press books. 20 chapters.
Okay.
We had to do some research to find out that the original Penguin publishers have 21st chapter. We had to get that book. That book, that 21st chapter, turns the entire story of A Clockwork Orange around.
What was this, like an original version or something? Or
This was what Anthony Burgess had written. He had written a perfectly symmetrical, in 3 parts of 7 chapters each, book.
And then it got edited out by someone.
And the Norton Press lopped off the 21st chapter because they thought it was too soft for American audiences.
Oh, boy.
They wanted it to end with Alex sitting back in the hospital bed saying, I was cured all right, with that wicked smile on his face.
Right.
But that's not how the book ends. The book ends with Alex trying to get a gang back together.
Oh, I didn't know this.
But he doesn't have it in his heart. He can't even watch the violence. And he proposes marriage to Sonietta, the girl who sang in the Korova Milk Bar. And he says, and it's all about, what the book is about is maturity being a factor that's stronger than the Ludovico technique, which they used to brainwash him by keeping his eyes open and making him watch the violence. It's all about keeping our youth, safeguarding our youth from killing themselves and each other until maturity can take over. And that's what makes it a beautiful book. And that's why we were happy to discover the 21st chapter and do the play in that fashion.
Yeah, right.
It adds a lot.
Yeah, it adds a lot. I think it makes it a much more beautiful piece. Anthony Burgess didn't like Stanley Kubrick's movie. When I wanted to do the show again in '95 at the Company of Angels, they sent me his script that he wrote in '86, just before he died of a brain aneurysm, and his script of A Clockwork Orange, his stage script, is not an adaptation of his novel. It's got a chorus of people playing the saxophone and kicking Stanley Kubrick off stage. So clearly, it wasn't useful for our purposes. And so when we did the play, we just said, from the mind of Anthony Burgess, directed by Ed Trotta, and I couldn't claim adaptation credit, but I did. This all started with gender bending.
Right. Yeah.
I made one of the Droogs, one of
Gang members.
Alex's gang, one of the gang members, a girl.
Wow.
In fact, I took that picture down so I could show it to you.
Okay.
Here are my Droogs. There's Alex is in the middle, right here. This is Alex. Here's Georgie, the girl with the little leatherette headpiece.
Right. I'm trying to get a better shot for everybody. Let's see here. Okay.
And here's Dim, the big guy. He liked using a chain as his weapon. And here's Pete. Pete used this long stick, which had a doorknob, a glass doorknob at the end, which was a very nice weapon indeed. And Alex had a Britva, which was Nadsat for a knife. And Georgie had the keys. She had all the keys. She could get into the Durango 95. She could get into any house. And I got some flack from L.A. Weekly about casting a girl as one of the Droogs, as a gang member.
Why did you decide to do it in the first place?
Well, I thought I'm updating this. I'm wanting to set it now and here in L.A.
And this is in the 80s, right? So it's not even,
This was in '95.
Oh, 95. So, I mean, this is a long time from when it was the movie and everything.
Yeah, not only were girls in gangs, but girls had their own gangs. And girls were the harshest of them all.
Oh, I know that. OJ knows too.
Yeah. Don't hold me, men.
Oh, yes. Very harsh.
They can be harsh.
So people give you flack for having a female play a gang member in 1995.
Yeah. And I made
in Los Angeles, of all places, not like it was in the Midwest or something like that.
No, yeah. So and when they busted in and raped the author's wife,
right,
which was major, at sort of the arc of the whole story. In fact, I made Georgie the most brutal of them all. Dim was sitting on her chest. Pete had her arms pinned with his long staff that, with the doorknob. Alex was holding the author's head saying, "Very well, little Drew, very well." And it was Georgie who had her maglights. That's what I decided would be the weapon of the future. These huge,
he's got. Oh wow! Look, he's got a weapon. Wow.
Yeah.
What a surprise!
Yeah. See, the police in L.A. started using those not only for illumination, but intimidation, but as weapons.
They're brutal.
They're brutal. You can hit someone with that, and and hurt them. So, so Georgie did it to the author's wife with the flashlight, and you could see the light go on and off and on and off as it went in and out, and it was very powerful. It was powerful.
Right.
We won awards. We sold out. It was brutal.
So in the end, you were vindicated. You were correct to cast a female. You won awards. You did very successful.
Yeah, right.
Was it just critics maybe trying to take a shot at you? Maybe they, how they do sometimes. Was that all it was? Maybe?
So I had it back and forth with Stephen Morris of L.A. Weekly, and he said,
okay.
He said, okay, you know what? You're right. Yeah, girls are gang members. I guess he figured out.
He accepted it.
They can be harsh too. I guess he figured they can be harsh.
Well, I think it could be. It's one of those timeless, timeless books, timeless films, whatever. People want it to be preserved as what they know. They don't want to see any kind of change whatsoever. Or who are you to do this or something like that,
Yeah. Well, there's that old timeless, timely thing.
Right, right.
And we did that. We did that last month.
That's right.
Missed you last month, OJ.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm much more comfortable in this, like, guest slot. Where I don't feel.
We threw that on that at the last second. Yes, sir.
Huh?
What were you saying?
I was saying, when I watched what I did last month, I thought, oh, this guy's trying too hard. He's trying to.
Oh, that's all. That's what we all do.
Oh, hush! It was fine.
And Ed, you came on the 100th show.
Yeah.
With your. That was great.
That was fun.
Happy birthday! Yeah.
So I know you this gender bending subject.
Yeah.
Did you have a song or something?
Yeah.
Go along with this.
Yeah. This is probably the most recent song I learned, so I may not. So I may have a faux pas or two during it, but it's a Cyndi Lauper song. Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you. Caught up in circles, confusion is nothing new. Flashback, warm nights, almost left behind. Suitcase of memories. Time after sometimes you picture me. I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling out to me. I can't hear what you have said. You say, go slow. I fall behind. The drum beats out of time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. Time after time. After my picture fades and darkness has turned to gray, watching through windows, you're wondering if I'm okay. Moments stolen from deep inside. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time.
Very nice.
You know, the hardest thing about that song is ending it.
Yeah?
It's ending it because I want to say time after time, time after time, time after time.
Right.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Longer than you can stand it.
That was beautiful. That was I never heard it done that way before. That was very,
very
nice.
sweet.
Very, very nice. Excellent work, my friend.
You're welcome.
So what is that? How does that fit into the gender bending?
Well, because because Cyndi Lauper made that a hit, and so people think of it as a song that a girl sings to a boy.
Okay.
But it's an expression of love. That's all it is, and it's very poetic. And I think the time after time, the endurance, the I will always be there. I'm sorry, I'm starting to lose my composure. But I think that's the sort of the centerpiece of an expression of love. Is that I'll always be there for you.
Right. Right.
If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll always be there.
Oh, it's beautiful, wonderful, beautiful.
So I thought, yeah, a guy can sing it too.
Right.
And sorry, I'm losing it.
It's perfectly okay, Ed.
It's a powerful song.
When Ed puts so much emotion into his songs, and I try to do that when I play. I don't get to the level Ed does, but when you play and it's an expression of you. It's everything you have. It's your guts. It's your heart out there. Express it, and then it's a weave of emotion sometimes.
Oh, well, John, when you play, you also invest yourself so heartily.
I try.
I wonder even why you even asked me to play a song. Why?
Come on now. We don't need to be going down this road now.
All right, we won't go down that road.
Yeah. So Ed, recently I had some crazy stuff going on, and Ed was there for me. Ed was there time after time for me. When I went to Ed and I said, "This is what's going on, man. I wasn't really asking for anything. I just wanted to tell somebody what was happening. Ed was there. He listened to what I had to say, and he gave me some good words, and I got through that whole situation. So,
John,
I appreciate that, sir.
I was flattered to have been considered, within that circle of people that you'd asked for counsel. So I was glad to provide whatever I could.
Well, thank you, buddy.
Yeah. Geez, are we all going to cry now?
I think so. I think this is what's happened here.
Let's all have this group cry.
It's going to be a group crying. It's going to be a group happening right now.
It's cathartic. It's good for us all.
Yes, absolutely.
Geez. Okay.
Ed, what's going on next month, man? You coming back?
Yeah, and next time, maybe I'll be able to tell you about the day of work that I had last week.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. So it's got some exciting stuff going on. Hopefully we could talk about it soon.
Yeah, it's one of those corporate things that, they don't want it released. It's like the Lincoln Penny deal,
Right.
Turns out to be, no biggie, but,
I think once you tell everyone about this, though, everyone, especially you guys watching the show, we're very excited about the news. So,
I told John privately, just, as a friend to friend.
I have the knowledge here. I have to be careful
He
with
has
this.
the knowledge, so torture him, not me.
I could blow up the whole internet right now with this knowledge, but I will not.
Torture him to find out.
No,
What did he do last week? What did he do? And how did he do it? Oh, and we will not let you.
That's between us, but I will not tell anyone.
Purple lightning.
Oh.
So
I can't. I need water, please.
I'm gonna go crazy. Just call OJ in the middle of the night to tell him. I'll just wake up in a sweat. And I have to tell someone this.
I have to tell someone this.
I have to tell someone.
It's not that exciting. It's not that exciting.
It's pretty exciting. I wouldn't.
Pretty exciting though. It's pretty exciting. It was pretty exciting for me.
Yeah. Well, everyone, as always, go check out the Ed Trotta fan club on Facebook. It's the official Ed Trotta fan club. I'm the president of the fan club. I'm there. Ed is there. Say hello. Hit the like button. Get all the different updates that go on there. And
yes, do please visit the Ed Trotta fan club page.
yes.
Please boost my IMBD rating.
Does that affect that?
IMBD, the Internet Movie Database, IMDb. Yeah. Sometimes it goes up like 24,000 points in a week. Sometimes it drops 13,000 in a week.
What is this based? Just different searches of you or something, or what?
I don't know. I leave it alone. I don't even have a picture of myself on it.
Yeah.
I should probably do something about that, but I should probably do something about a whole bunch of other things that I haven't. So that's just one on the list. The fan club Facebook page is something that I've become like really just affectionate of.
We got some plans for that. We're gonna maybe over the next couple months or so we'll start doing some more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am the president. I take my job seriously as the president, and I must elevate this to new heights. So I will try my best for you. See what we can do.
Right. Well, we will get one-on-one in the coming weeks, and until then, I hope to see you guys again about this time next month.
You got it, Ed.
There we go.
Ed, thank you for being you, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.
Okay, take care.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
All right.
Another wonderful night with Ed.
He's getting emotional here on the show.
Hmm.
You seem to be keeping your composure. You're a professional, man. We talked about professional today. I used that word too much, maybe.
Maybe. A little.
A little too much?
Maybe. Ah, my face is huge.
I'm fixing you. All right, calm down.
It was a joke.
You gotta calm down, man. I'm trying to help you. Sometimes I'm trying to help you, John. You gotta accept the help from me.
I've heard that one
Type
before,
of help
and it did not end very well.
The type of help that I could give. No one else can do it. Give you the kind of help that I can give you.
Worried now.
Should be. So how you doing, buddy?
Will be.
The show flew by today. Crazy. Very fast.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's almost 10.
Almost 2 hours. Very, very, very quick. I enjoyed it. There were some fun moments.
Yeah, we had some good moments. We had a lovely time with Ed. We got some brand new TV show ideas.
I think I want to do. I was thinking about the end of the year for some reason. I don't know why, but
Well, it's coming, man.
last year I did 2012 in 12 minutes as a video. I think I want to do this year. I want to do like intro, like maybe the best intros. I'm gonna do the best of Ed.
Oh,
so if
man.
people have like certain, he's been on I think every month since February.
He's been on a lot.
So if you guys have certain moments or something with Ed that we could try to put into like one video, make it like a half hour, cut it down or something. The best of Trotta or something like that. Maybe something like that.
Trotting out the Trotta.
If you even want that, if you don't want it, maybe I just won't do it. But maybe some different types of videos. I don't know.
Copernicus says Best of Ed would be a 40-hour show.
That's the problem. You got to really go and figure it out and cut it down and stuff.
Yeah, that's a tricky part.
I feel a little in this region, a little. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Ink in this region?
A little emotional going. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to go like punch something right, like because do something very manually now to reverse this situation that's going on.
I don't know. It was, yeah. Sorry, I don't.
That was some heavy, beautiful, heavy stuff, man. That's real.
I know.
That's like real. That's real stuff. You can't produce that kind of thing.
No. What bugs me though is that my I'm dealing with emotions face just looks confused. I saw in the chat people were like, OJ is so confused, and I'm like, no, that's not what's happening here.
You seemed a little confused. You were just like, what am I on right now? What is this thing? What's going on?
I didn't want to. Yeah.
That was freaking heavy, man.
It was.
I'm still feeling the effects of this. See, with me, like when I feel like I just laugh when stuff like that goes on. Like with the cat thing I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's like my defense mechanism. I just laugh at everything.
Yeah.
Nothing
wrong with that.
Well, I mean, it's not the best thing to do.
Well, it depends.
People might take it the wrong way.
Well, it depends on where you are. If you're in front of the lady whose cat just died, laughter might not be an appropriate response. But if you're
I
at
didn't do
home,
it then. But when I tell the story, it just happens because it's so bizarre. Right?
Well, it is. But I mean, if you just focused on the saddest part of the story, then
that's too heavy though. That's the part that you like automatically try to keep away because it's too much.
Coaches, you can't purposefully drown yourself in this stuff.
Yeah. So we hanging out tomorrow, or what's going on? It looks like we might be.
Yeah, we got to talk about that though, because a friend of mine was telling me some news that I haven't checked up on since he said it, but I can quickly do a 2-second Google search to confirm.
What is this, work related or something? What are you talking about?
No.
What?
That the MTA has
train?
a humongous train problem.
Okay.
Starting tomorrow.
Yeah. So anyway, we're supposed to film tomorrow with an unnamed actor to finish the next episode of Sean's Man the Hole Punch because we need just one more little piece. So we're gonna try to get that done tomorrow. But I don't know. It looks like the trains are messed up or something.
Yeah, I want to talk about that with you.
This person would have to take the train. Next episode's looking good. OJ saw some.
Oh my gosh!
It's got a scene that's the best scene we ever did. I'll tell you right now. It's kind of like, I don't know, it was all the lessons that I've learned, I think, throughout the whole thing, all kind of like paid off into this thing. So
like you used a little bit of like everything,
yes.
And I haven't even seen some of the parts yet.
Yeah, so it's exciting. OG did a great job there, as always. It's an excellent,
I didn't do that much. It was
okay. Here we go. Just take it.
Okay, thank you.
Take it. Put it in the pocket. Boom. Done.
My pocket has a hole in it.
We don't have to fight over this for.
I'm not kidding. It actually has a hole in it. Can I put it in a different pocket?
But I think if we get this done tomorrow, hopefully this weekend, I could actually have a full episode. And then I didn't do any of the music, so then that's like kind of a tricky thing because you got to go through, figure out where do you want to put it. Does it need it and then you got to figure what the hell the music's going to be. And you got to come up with the piece, and it's pretty challenging. But we're getting there with the next one, so it's always exciting.
Yeah, it's always fun seeing where it's going to turn out, you know?
Oh, yeah, excellent.
It's a mystery. It's painful sometimes, but it's well worth it.
And this one is the end of all the footage that we currently have.
Yeah.
There's actually footage in here that was filmed in November. Believe it or not, of last year.
Yeah.
So you're talking almost a year later for some of the footage, but that's just how it was built, man. Because we had such problems finding the Jeff character that we would just kept me and OJ would get together and just start filming whatever we could, and before we even had him, and then when we got him, we plugged all his stuff in and then made the episode. So
yeah, you'll be able to tell just looking at the lighting and some of the other stuff. No, we got a lot better at the lighting, man.
You probably
and the good.
When
light.
I watch it, I could be like, man, like a lot of it I could tell. Like the stuff from last November, I'm like, this is not. I didn't know what I was doing as much as I do now, or as well as I do now. But,
well, it's a learning
it's not
experience.
Bad. Nothing's terrible in it.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, we had some old footage in a previous episode too, and it looked fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, yeah.
And right now I'm in a writing mode, and it's interesting because you got to like know when to. The hardest part is to like when to stop, because you could just keep going and keep changing things forever. At a certain point, you got to be like, this is the end of it. It's done, and you pull the plug, But it's hard to do that. Because it's always like, I can make it better if I sit here another 5 hours and stare at this.
Exactly, but I mean, you'll always be able to say that, and at some point you have to. You're like, what I've got, this is it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's got to be like, does it express what we're trying to put forth here, and does it do it in a way that makes sense, and can people understand what's going on? That's the most important stuff.
Yeah.
Not like, I don't know, whatever. So that's going to do it, my friends. That was a great show. It was a roller coaster of all kinds of things going on.
Yeah.
Ups and downs and left and rights.
We even had that little part of the roller coaster where at the beginning it makes that ratchety, clanky, and sounds like it's going to fall off the tracks noise.
That was the beginning when we almost didn't even have a show because nothing was working correctly. That's how we do it, John.
This is how we do it.
That's how...
Take a show and brew it.
Well, on that note, it's going to wrap us up. So for OJ, this is John, signing off. Thank you for being a part of JohnRamboPresents, the very best in free and optional entertainment. We'll see you next week. Wednesday night,
folks.
8 p.m. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
To the good folks of the internet.